Today's lesson is on converting units of weight. So we're talking about customary units of weight and what unit would be appropriate to use when we're trying to weigh something, weigh objects. So the units of measurement that we use for weight are ounces, pounds, and tons. So ounces are the smallest, then we go up to pounds and then up to tons. So let's look at some of these questions and see what would be appropriate to use for each one of these circumstances. So for a car, what would be most appropriate to use? An ounce, a pound, or a ton? And right here it tells you that 1 ton is 2,000 pounds. So what's going to be most appropriate? Definitely a ton. A ton would be most appropriate. Oh, and it says to write the abbreviation. So the abbreviation for ton is a capital T. How about a computer? Ounces, pounds, or tons? Definitely pounds. Best unit to use. A ton would be too much. Ounces would probably be too small. A bowling ball. If you've ever been to the bowling alley, you'll see the numbers on the bowling balls. Those are done in pounds. That's how many pounds your bowling ball weighs. How about an onion? An onion is pretty small. When you go to the grocery store and you're in the produce section, you might see those little scales. They're kind of like this, except they hang, maybe. It measures things in ounces and pounds. But if we're just measuring one onion, we're definitely going to be measuring in ounces. What about a Tyrannosaurus Rex? What would you measure that in? Tons, for sure. Those are huge. And a vacuum cleaner. So not quite as small as an onion, not quite as big as a T-Rex. So it's going to be in between, and we're going to measure that in. Okay, so let's start talking about some conversions now. To figure out how to convert ounces to pounds and pounds to tons, we're going to use our chart here, but I've also got this little exercise for you guys to do too. To recognize again that when we are going from big pounds down to small ounces, we are multiplying. Big measurement down to small, you multiply. But when you go from a small measurement like ounces up to pounds, you're going to divide. Okay, so don't forget that rule. So on this one here, we're going from, on this chart, we're going from pounds to ounces. So put your arms out, big pounds, down to small ounces, cross them, you know you're multiplying. So if 1 pound is 16 ounces, that means we're going to be multiplying this by 16 every time to get what these measurements are. So the first one we can do together. 2 times 16 is 32. So 2 pounds is exactly 32 ounces, okay? So I want you to pause the video right here, and I want you to figure out what 3 pounds, 4 pounds, and 5 pounds would be in ounces. And then unpause the video only when you've got your answers filled in, and we'll check together. Okay, so now that you have those, let's check our answers. What did you get for 3 pounds? Hopefully you got 48 ounces, and 4 pounds should be 64 ounces, and 5 pounds should be 80 ounces. Okay, so all you've done each time is add 16 to it. This is like those input-output tables we do, or finish the pattern. You're just multiplying this number by 16, or you're adding 16 every time if these go in order. All right, so let's answer our questions over here now. If an object weighed 2 pounds, how many ounces would it weigh? Well, we can go back to our chart here, and we know that 2 pounds is exactly 32 ounces. Or we can multiply in our head because we know we're going from large pounds down to small ounces. So 2 times 16 is 32 ounces. And I know it's weird that the abbreviation for ounces is OZ, and there's no Z in the word ounces. Same thing for pounds. The abbreviation for pounds is LB, and there's no L and there's no B there. So if you can figure out why that is, research it, give it a Goog, come back and tell me on one of our meetings, or message me on Canvas. Okay, next question. If an object weighed 112 ounces, how many pounds would it weigh? So let's think about this. We are going from small ounces up to large pounds. So small to large, we're going to divide. So that means that we have to divide 112 by 16. 112 divided by 16. And if you do that math, 112 divided by 16 is 7 pounds. 7 pounds is 112 ounces. All right, let's go down to our next problem. If an object weighed 10 pounds, how many ounces would it weigh? Okay, are we going from large units to smaller units or smaller units to large here? So we can figure out which operation to do. We are going from large units, pounds, down to small units, ounces. So large units to small, we're multiplying. So let's multiply 10, and what are we multiplying it by? Well, let's go and look. For every 1 pound, there's 16 ounces. That means we have to multiply 10 times 16. Well, I know about multiplication. 10 times 16, when you multiply by 10, it's just getting 10 times greater. So you're putting that 0 at the end, it's 10 times greater. So 10 pounds is 160 ounces. All right, last question we'll do together. If an object weighs 48 ounces, how many pounds would it weigh? So let's think about our units again. We're going from small ounces up to large pounds. So that means we're going to do what operation? We're going to be dividing, that's right. So what exactly are we going to divide? We're going to divide 48 divided by, there's no division sign on here, can you believe that? Divided by what? Let's go and look. How many ounces are in 1 pound? 16. 48 divided by 16. Well, I know I can look over here at this chart and see that 3 pounds is exactly 48 ounces. So that must mean 48 ounces is exactly 3 pounds. So there you go. So that's a little bit of practice in converting weight measurements and knowing which units to use. So refer back to this video if you need any help. Don't forget to use your notes that I gave you at the beginning of the week, especially these charts are going to be really helpful for you to use to convert, and good luck on your work today.